Now the things are clear. 1940s Great War time, Bengal, Famine of Eastern India, named as Bengal, was engineered by the British. This was a scorched earth policy of the war. If the famine is not created, if Jap Army and INA enters, they will get the food.
Very clear.
That should be, they should be deprived of, and the people should be made very sick so that they are very emaciated. They will not hold weapons against the British. That they planned.
And why
engineered.
Bengal? Why Bengal? Because Bengal had the support of Netaji, had the support of all Jugantar, revolutionary, and everyone was active in Bengal.
Again, you are seeing now in the records that another famine was coming in 46.
Another famine was coming in 46, and already in Tamil Nadu, riots had taken place at 5 places I know of. Police firings were there in that, and there is an overall panic in the newspapers of that period.
And you see,
Okay.
1946 riot, I think, whatever I read, it is not only the brainchild of the Muslim League of Surabuddin. Behind that, the British. It is the engineer.
Brother, don't forget two aspects. When Mountbatten was appointed to come here to India as Viceroy, he went and met Churchill. And it is recorded in his own words. that Churchill told him, you may do anything you like. But
don't touch
the hair on the head of any Muslim friend of mine.
Yes, that's the word.
Don't touch even the hair on the head of
anything, but never touch.
And Muslim said, Mountbatten said, I agree.
Yes.
So, this whole thing, I feel Jinnah is a cover-up. I am very clear on one thing. You see, we say that India was only partitioned into India and Pakistan. No. India was partitioned into 568 countries.
Yes.
These princely states
were not made free.
Were not countries. British Empire had two components.
Yes.
British Indian provinces and British Indian princely states.
Yes.
And they made these states independent.
And
the British would have never left India. If the Pakistan demand would not
they
have
pulverized the country.
They would not have left India the way India they ruled. Because they were afraid of the potential of India. They knew it very well.
They pulverized it.
They pulverized it. All those demands to balkanize it, or first scheme to have a third dominion of the princely states, all these schemes were discussed in all each other. Now, the question here becomes very important is, why Mountbatten? See, you are calling it independence. I already put that document.
This dominion.
No, I put already that document of Attlee, where he says that now Congress leaders are saying that independence can wait for 2-3 years, provided transfer of power takes place.
At least British itself is frank.
No, but
he's honest.
Sir, don't forget one thing. Again, correlating something. Gandhi always wanted dominion state.
Yes.
Kolkata session.
Yes. Everywhere.
When Bose says
Everywhere.
independence, dominion status.
Dominion.
Every time he's talking of dominion
Always
status,
dominion.
round table conference he's talking of dominion status.
Dominion.
He has forgotten that Lahore session pledge of independence.
On the surface, it's a lip service.
Then, Mountbatten, when he came to India, he invited all the leaders. Gandhi is very pleased. How can I deny you all this? And Gandhi visits. In the first meeting, he says, you make Jinnah the Prime Minister. And it will leave it to Jinnah's choice. Whosoever he wants to make a minister, Muslim League and all, whether he wants Congress or not. The Mountbatten tells him, go and get it approved from the Congress. Which Patel and Nehru reject. But my question here is, this man who's projected as a Mahatma, as a Democrat, it was a democratically elected government in the interim government where Congress was ruling and Nehru was the Prime Minister. Why, in what authority he said that Jinnah should be made the Prime Minister? Is it not fascism? Is it not dictatorship of Gandhi? That what he wants to get it done. Then in the second meeting, this is very interesting again. Mountbatten writes, suddenly he asked me, have you heard of Englishman Andrews? I said, yes. He said, why don't you become like Andrew and serve the Indian government and take your salary from the Indian government? I was stunned. I told him that my interests lie in naval carrier in England and I want some Indian should head it. And I thought Gandhi will stop at that. But Gandhi said, when the plan comes to you officially, I hope you will not refuse.
Have you read the volume?
No, but what does this mean? This means that the whole plan is being cooked somewhere.
Somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Then Mountbatten is Senate. And then there is another important thing here.
And Gandhi is implementing that.
Napier and Collins asked Mountbatten a question in their interview, which is published. Where he asked, did Edwina help you? And Mountbatten says, very much.
Very much.
She would talk to Nehru unofficially, which I could not talk officially.
Yes.
And we discussed this on the dining table in the
Yes.
presence of my daughter.
Yes.
No one else used to be there. And she was very helpful. What does this mean? What does this mean? This is a damn seems plotting of the MI5. Because you look at them. Is this independence that all Britishers who have served in India, their pensions will be paid by India? Is this independence that not only the Governor General, but the Chief of the Army Staff also,
All three.
Commander Chief
All three
also,
also.
naval, you on the one hand you say I don't need army. India doesn't need army. This is what Gandhi has been
Yes.
saying.
Yes.
And you appoint all the Britishers. And the worst part in this is, there is an agreement done that if the violence takes place during partition, the British troops will not be used to stop that violence. Can you believe it? They all knew violence would come. Jinnah had shown by the deliverance day in Calcutta on 16th August what he can do. And then Peshawar riots had come, Lahore riots had come. And these people agree to that. That British troops will not be used to stop the violence. Mountbatten himself writes that. He said if that had not been the thing, there would not have been so much violence. But they were not bothered. And I come to this conclusion that Nehru was never bothered about Bengal. Because he had no support in Bengal. And if so was, he was never bothered about Punjab. Because no one bothered about him in Punjab. He was bothered about Kashmir, Sheikh Abdullah. But he is not bothered about Punjab and Bengal, even in the boundary dispute. If you see how ridiculous it is that you agree to a person radically who doesn't know anything about India, in 2-3 months' time, he draws a line, you accept it. Why Sylhet went to Bangladesh? Because of the Congress leader Bardolai. He never wanted Bengalis to come to Assam at that time. But he was defeated because the refugees went there. And before that, Jinnah had sent more than 1 lakh Muslims to Assam before the partition.
And one thing I tell you, Jinnah agreed to population exchange. You know,
It is we who refused.
it is Nehru, Gandhi, they refused.
Patel agreed. And
Population
not only
exchange.
that, even Patel asked Nehru that those who have left, their houses should be given to the refugees who have come back.
Then-
And you know what Nehru says? No, we must wait, they might come back to India.
One thing, in brief, why, what do you think? Why Nehru Gandhi refused the proposal of population exchange? Because population exchange in a vast country will need years, long years. If in these years, if the ghost comes, that will be a problem.
That is their
That,
secondary.
they want immediately transfer of power.
They want
Immediately
transfer of
partition.
power. They want to settle down. But I must say one thing here, I feel, when I try to read between the lines, I feel Patel has a different thing in his mind. You see, don't forget one aspect. Patel changed according to the context.
Yes.
How? He's a staunch Gandhian. He's a staunch person of non-violence. But he does Operation Polo in Hyderabad. He does Junata.
Yes.
He defends Kashmir by defense forces.
And what is your perception?
He wanted to take Pondicherry
What
by
is
force
perception?
and Goa.
Why communal riot in 46th August was engineered? Because before that, two-nation theory was neither being popular to Muslims or to Hindus. And by this Indian riots,
Dada,
this demand, this need of this partition
The
was created.
Khaksas made 2 attempts on Jinnah's life.
Yes.
Yesterday only I found a document when looking in the National Library of the
Yes.
newspapers. 16 Khaksas in in Gaya, Bihar,
Yes.
they started distributing pamphlets with swords in their hands against Jinnah in Pakistan. And a Reuters situation emerged, these Muslim League people, and then the police caught them and put them back on the trail. There were 13 parties that Abdullah Sindhi, who made an alliance of 13 Muslim parties which opposed partition.
Yes.
Gandhi never talked to them. Nehru never talked
Yes.
to them.
Yes.
They only
Yes.
talked to Qaeda-e-Azam Jinnah Saab. Why? Because the British were behind that. Outwardly, I tell you, till 1947 July, all speeches you pick up of Nehru, nothing less than independence. Nothing less than independence. Where did independence go? You prefer to remain the humble servant of the king, even to appoint the next governor general, and your king abdicates the throne in August 1948.